Hey guys, Hemoglobin here with a quick survey on item storage and sorter units. This video is brought to you by GMiniDog14 because he, one, asked for a video like this, and then two, made me some awesome video channel art. I will put links to each of the videos on how to build these item sorter and storage units in the description below. The first one is TangoTek's automated multi-item sorting storage system. There are a few pros and cons to each of these systems, and I will discuss them in kind of brevity. So let's start with some of the cons. It's very resource intensive. If you watch the video, it's kind of long and at times difficult to follow because he does kind of flip back and forth instead of just building a whole section at a time. But in the most part, it is quite a great, elegant build. For example, this clock is an automatic shut-off clock, so depending on how many modules you have, it will stop the clock itself. And even if you mess up the clock here, you have an emergency on and off switch for your build. And then here what is nice is that you have a hopper, locker, and clock stopper switch over here. So if the switch is off, items will flow through and your clock will be activated. If it's switched on like this, then you can put your items and load them in. So in case you accidentally put something you didn't want to go through the system, you can prevent that. And then you also have the option of an overflow shulker box or chest. This system was built before shulker boxes, which attests to TangoTek's and to some degree, I guess, Minecraft's genius and then flexibility in that you can replace your chest with shulker boxes and it will still work. I did test this extensively to make sure that every item slot will be sortable. So those are kind of, in a nutshell, the pros and the cons. So the main pro for me is that you can put multiple different items in each of the chests, so your storage system is a bit more intuitive. So for example, you could have all of your redstone items in one chest or shulker box. And the fact that you can use shulker boxes and it adds to its definite strong pro. The con is just the kind of the resource intensiveness and the large footprint that it makes. So the next build is by another Redstone genius, CubFan135. It is his lossless version 2 shulker box storage system. So let's say that you started off with chests, you hadn't quite made it to the end. TangoTek might be the better build for you. But now that you're finally having a shulker box, or that you finally have shulker boxes, this build is quite ingenious. So all you have to do is have 2 chests for overflow storage or shulker boxes. So you just kind of hover over it, not touching the mouse, you press your drop item button and it will automatically go into and queue up in your little system. And then you have an on-off switch for auto destruction of shulker boxes, which is nice because if you have a mob farm up here feeding into your shulker boxes as you AFK, it will automatically break your shulker boxes for you. But if you're done with that shulker box, it will bring up the next one. So as you saw there, the green one was full and it broke it, and that is quite nice and ingenious. So this is quite useful in case you are just trying to do a lot of projects, and then you just can kind of pick them up and put them in your inventory as you see fit. So again, this is Cubfan 135's lossless Shulker box storage system. So the pros is it's very small footprint, not overly resource intensive, unless you find using Shulker boxes very resource intensive. Here is Snocrash's, not design, but he did probably the best video on describing it. So Snocrash has a Hermit Chunk Challenge series. In this series, he goes over a lot of nice builds that are very compact and easy to use. So in the series, he has a mob farm that's just dropping tons of items, and he has to sort through them all. So I'll bring up the F3 screen. In this system, if you look in the top left corner, you'll see the word Minecraft, then a number which is describing the amount of frames per second I have, and then C for the chunk that I'm in, and then E for the number of entities. This is describing how many minecarts with chests are in here. And as you can tell, 114 is a lot. That's why my frames are not so good at the moment. So with this system, I added to it by adding a bunch of Shulker boxes with minecarts with chests that will feed into the dispenser. So all you have to do is push the button and it pushes another minecart with chest in it, as you can tell by the entity number going to 115. So you can lock that if you want, and you can also lock the hopper in here, or if you get your items that you kind of want to be filtering, they'll filter into this Shulker box here. This part's a little bit wonky. I think with one of the updates you have to use like a double locking method in order to properly lock this first slot, but its compactness kind of makes up for some of its less intuitiveness. So this is just something to kind of consider as a very efficient model, but possibly maybe a little too efficient because it's kind of hard to get the items that you want at times, especially if you have tons of items flowing in. But again, this is more or less Snocrash's design from his Hermit Chunk Challenge. And then we go to ImpulseSV. His design is a very simple design, but to some degree a little elegant in the sense that you can never break it. So what I'm talking about with breaking is in some designs you can have overflow problems that will clear your item filter and make it not work. So what overflow is when you have, let's say, 2 double chests stacked on top of each other, but you're trying to put in way more than 2 double chests. In older designs, what would happen is the redstone signal, so again, let's bring up the F3 screen, and in the bottom right corner above the word west, above the word south, you'll see power. There was enough power in the redstone signal coming from the comparator to bleed over to this side and then also depower this torch. So when you have your items, they will kind of come through here and generate a signal. So here is spruce leaves, so let's bring up spruce leaves. So like so, we'll put them in here. and they will start filtering in here. Even if you have overflow, like let's say both of these chests get filled with spruce leaves, this here will never get above the number 64 because Minecraft just doesn't allow it. Because of that rule, this will never go above a power of 1. So the strong pro with this is that this filter prevents against overflow. The strong con against this filter is that you now have just one silo for each item, and you have to use 41 items. So if you're mining and it's just cobblestone, andesite, diorite, granite, it's not a problem. You're probably not going to miss those 41 items. But if you have diamonds in there, then you're probably going to want them. So, I mean, a workaround that is that you just have one column of unfiltered items going into a chest, and you just put all those rare items into that. Be quick and easy and simple. Or you could possibly create a system that allows, or rather it prevents, bleed over. So you just have to do a little bit more fancy wiring, and that will prevent bleed over, and then you can have multiple items going into a chest, or you can use fewer items in your filter. And then here you kind of see where, again, the filter broke because you had a couple of stacks generating a strong output, which, again, the whole way the system works is you're basically inverting a torch, which then unlocks the hopper, because one, this torch will, again, in the F3 screen, you'll see facing west, and then enabled false. And then this is also false, because you have to have both hoppers locking at the same time, otherwise your filter will just kind of drain. Another thing of note is that this hopper right here has to be facing in this direction, so it has to be facing away from and parallel to the comparator that you're looking at, otherwise the filter will just drain. So if you change up your filters, so if you have like in a blocker, you can still put a few items into the same chest. So I did put a couple golden swords in here just to see if it wrecked this system. I'm not seeing them at the moment. There they go. So which one was this one? Okay, so this was the one that had about 10 items of each stone type. So it looks like that the number of items that was flowing through might have blocked it, or the golden swords might have blocked those filters. So I can probably go into this in more detail if you would like, or I can go into more detail about any of these other item sorter and filter systems. But until next time, this is Hemoglobin, hoping you have a great day and a great build. Thank you, and goodbye.